Welcome to Cooking Tuesday at 2. My name is Courtney, again, here every Tuesday. And next week we have a very special guest joining us, but we'll talk about that later. Today we are making what they would say a breakfast cookie, but we're going to be using either puffed quinoa or oats. I personally don't eat oats, so I used puffed quinoa, which is so yummy. It's a great substitute for Rice Krispie treats as well. But so before we start, we're gonna turn our ovens on and we're going to cook at 350. So we'll start that, and then we're gonna start also by making the flax meal egg, and we're gonna melt the coconut oil as our first two steps. So we can start by getting our flax meal egg ready and started. So to do that, you're gonna take 2 tablespoons of flax meal egg to 5 tablespoons of water. So in a little bowl, you're gonna take 2 tablespoons of the flax meal, to 5 tablespoons of water. And you're going to give that a mix. I don't eat oats personally, it just doesn't do well with my body, but you can always substitute the oats or the quinoa puff. Also, I'm going to show you guys what the quinoa puffs look like. It's almost like a Rice Krispie treat, but so you're going to mix the flax meal egg together, and you're going to put that aside. So then we'll come back later to that flax meal egg. For everyone just joining, we are making a breakfast cookie. We just made our flax meal egg and we turned on our ovens to 350. So next we're going to melt our coconut oil. I buy the oats already puffed. You can find them at the grocery store. I don't know where you live, but my natural food store has them by the pound that you can get. So also, I believe if you look it up online, I haven't tried it yet, but I believe you can cook the quinoa in a cast iron and puff it yourself and then use it. I haven't gone that far to try that extra step yet, but moving forward, we are going to melt the coconut oil now, and you're going to do 1/4 of a cup. Okay, so I use my copper butter warmer. Very easy to heat up butters and coconut oils. So we're going to put 1/4 of a cup into a little saucepan if you don't have a butter warmer. We're going to melt that. And you're going to melt that on low. Simmer it. Alright, so after we have started that, we're going to start the process of getting all the dry ingredients together and all of the wet ingredients together. For everyone joining, we are making a breakfast cookie. I believe they call it a breakfast cookie so you can enjoy it in the morning, kind of like a muffin, but I eat them all day, so breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So next we're going to add all the dry ingredients together in a medium-sized bowl. So that will be our 1 cup of puffed quinoa or 1 cup of oats. Then next you're going to add in your almond flour, and that is a 1/2 cup of almond flour. So right now in the bowl we have 1 cup of the oats or quinoa puffed and a 1/2 cup of almond flour. Next, we're going to add in our baking soda, and that will be half of a teaspoon. Okay, we'll add that into the dry ingredients, and then we will add in a half teaspoon of salt as well. Yes, you can puff your own quinoa. I have not tried that step yet. I would love to try it. But I believe you can heat up a pan, put your quinoa in, and it will start popping on a higher temperature. I buy the quinoa puffed already from the natural food store. I believe a lot of people do sell it. I just don't think a lot of people are looking for it. So, secret ingredient, puffed quinoa, already puffed. Great substitute for Rice Krispies. Or you can make chocolate custards with it. If you heat up chocolate and pour them over the quinoa, it's really good as well. So for everyone just joining, we are making the breakfast cookies. Our temperature is at 350. We're heating up our coconut oil with 1/4 of a cup. We've made our flax meal egg, which is 2 tablespoons to 5 tablespoons of water. We've mixed all that and put that aside. And we have in our dried ingredients 1 cup of the quinoa puffed or oats, half cup of almond flour. We have half a teaspoon of baking soda and half a teaspoon of salt. To keep going, now we're going to move on to our wet ingredients. So if you have another smaller bowl, not as big as the medium one, we're going to mix a couple ingredients in this to add into the dry ingredient bowl. So next we're going to add in 1/3 of a cup of peanut butter. You can use almond butter as well. Today I'm going to use peanut butter. I love almond butter though in these. So easy. Okay, so that's 1/3 of a cup, and we're going to pour that into the bowl. Okay, great. After that, we're going to add in 1/3 cup of maple syrup. I will post the recipe after we are finished with it. So right now, if you aren't making them, that you can make them later. I'm just showing the process for people who are doing it right now. So we have 1/3 cup in our small bowl, and then we're going to add 1/3 of a cup of maple syrup to the almond butter or peanut butter. I'm going to use the rest of my maple syrup. Alright, and then once you go back, we're going to add in the coconut oil, which should be, ooh, I love that idea. The tahini. It's going to be yummy. Now we're going to add in what we melted earlier of our coconut oil, and that's going to be 1/4 of a cup. So we're going to add that into the maple syrup and whatever seed butter you're using. Okay, and then we're going to mix that up really good to get a nice mixture to add into our dried ingredients. Mine's going everywhere. Alright. You want to make sure you really, it's 1/3 cup of maple and 1/4 cup of the coconut oil that we were melting. So we just added that in now, and we're mixing in. To go over again, we have 1/3 cup of peanut butter, 1/3 cup of maple, and 1/4 cup of coconut oil into our wet ingredients small bowl. All right, once you get that really mixed up with the seed butter you're using, the maple syrup and coconut oil, we're gonna next add that into our dry ingredient bowl. Okay, if you have a spatula, you can use the spatula to really get it all out of the bowl. Alright, then we're gonna mix. We are making breakfast cookies using oats or puffed quinoa if you have that. So right now we have the dry ingredients mixed with the wet ingredients. You're going to mix that all together. It's going to start looking real yummy. Alright. Just to show you guys what it's looking like. That's our mixture of the dry and wet ingredients all together. Alright, so that's our base. Very easy base to make. And then now that you have the base, you can add in as many things as you would like. I like to add in chia seeds, mini chocolate chips, hemp seeds. You can add in walnuts, raisins. Sky's the limit, whatever you think. I'm going to add in the hemp seeds, which we keep in the fridge. So I like to add in about 2 tablespoons of hemp seeds. I like to add in 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. I like to add in mini chocolate chips. Just gonna put a little bit of those in there. And then so I think it skipped a little, but I just added in the hemp seeds that I want to add in, chia seeds, and mini chocolate chips. But as I was saying earlier, you can add in anything you want. So after we've added in all of those ingredients, we're going to add in our flax meal egg, which seems to be at the perfect consistency. So then we add that in, and we mix it all together. So raisins, chopped nuts is great. Any kind of seed, pumpkin seed, little chocolate chips. This makes quite a bit of batter, which is awesome because I'm going to show you 2 different ways that you can enjoy it. Because there's no raw egg in here or anything else, you can just make them into little balls and store them in the fridge so you can eat them in the morning or afternoon or night, even as like a little snack. And then you can bake them as well. So there's 2 ways of eating this amazing cookie. And first I'm going to show you how you would put them on the tray to bake. So once you've added all of your ingredients, mine looks like that. And then I'm going to take a spoon and take a little bit onto my spoon to put onto the cookie tray. I put parchment paper down as well. Smaller cookies are about this size is really good to cook for these ones. You don't need to have a cookie scooper. You can use just a spoon. But if you do have a cookie spoon or a cookie scooper, you'll get the perfect size. All right, and I fit about, let's see, about 9 cookies on a tray, but if you're doing smaller ones, you can fit a lot more. They don't seem to spread out so much, but you do want to press them down a bit so when they're baking, they can bake all the way through it and you can get a nice crispy edge. All right, so on my tray, it looks like that. Press them down a little bit. And then I'm gonna pop them in the oven and I will bake them for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. So they're gonna come out looking like this. Amazing cookies. But I'm also gonna show you really quick how to make them into little balls and store them into your fridge. So if you have a container that you store, like a glass container where you store leftovers or something, it's really nice to just use one of those to pop into the fridge. So you're gonna use the same spoon you used for to put the cookies on the tray. You're gonna take a little, put it into your hand, roll them up a bit, and just place them right onto the bowl. They are gonna be a little stickier this way, but they're really, really yummy right out of the fridge. So you just put them a little space away from each other on the bowl, roll them up to little bite size. You can enjoy these later. All right, kind of a mess at this part, but the mess pays off, I promise. All right, and then I'll show you guys what this looks like. So I put little balls into a little tray or a little glass bowl, and I'll put the lid on and I'll store them in my fridge. You can come back to it and heat them up later if you'd like that, or eating them. I did another batch earlier, eating them right out of the fridge. The texture is the same and so yummy. Wow. And just like that, you have an amazing breakfast cookie. Thank you guys for tuning in today with Cookies with Big Red. Next week we have a special guest, so stay tuned. Thank you.